Hello and welcome to another episode of the Totally Unqualified podcast. We got a super awesome episode for you guys today. We are doing an NFL draft special episode. We're going to be doing our mock draft, talking about some NFL draft stuff. So going to be a ton of fun. Super excited for this. We, of course, have the NFL draft coming up on Thursday. We are recording on Monday. So super excited for that. A lot of stuff to discuss there. And of course, I'm joined by the greatest crew in all podcasting and our special guest today, future Penn Stater, Mr. Steven Pavelka, aka ElSpedd on TikTok. Thanks for being with us, Sped. And my boys, Gage, Luke, how are we doing today, guys?
I'm doing good. Same old stuff. I'm on a 3-day weekend right now. Go back to work tomorrow. So, you know, living it up while I can, but tomorrow will suck and I'll just cross that bridge when I get to it.
I got a Packers marble.
Oh, is that what you get for being an owner?
Nope. I just have a Packers marble, so I'm doing great. How are you doing? How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, I don't have a Patriots marble, but
I know.
Packers marble, at least.
I don't have a Seahawks marble.
No, I don't have one of those either. I don't have any marbles.
Boo. Not a marble guy.
No. Damn. Yeah, so we got a super fun episode for you guys today. Really looking forward to it. If you hear Luke scream at any point in the episode, he's watching the Raptors game, so just want to warn you there.
Currently 3 minutes remaining, Raptors up 12. So winner
they'll probably blow that. Wouldn't be surprised.
Whoa.
We do have a guest stat player for you guys as always. Let me just get the timer ready for you guys here. All right, and you guys can start whenever, and I'll start the timer.
A Pro Bowler?
He is a Pro Bowler.
Recently drafted?
Not recently drafted.
Pro Bowler this year?
No, actually.
Okay.
First year besides his rookie year, he wasn't a Pro Bowler.
Offense?
No.
Secondary?
No.
E-line?
No.
Linebacker? Edge rusher?
Yes.
Edge rusher?
Yes.
AFC
or NFC?
AFC.
Raiders?
No.
AFC East?
Titans?
No. West, yes. AFC West.
Okay.
Except 15 seconds.
Bradley
Frank Clark?
Nope.
Fuck.
Fuck. Who's another team?
Joey Bosa?
Not Joey Bosa.
Khalil Mack?
It is Khalil Mack with
Yes.
1 second to spare. One
Good
second.
stuff.
0.7 seconds to spare. Steven
Buzzer
got it.
beater.
It was Khalil
2 of
Mack.
3.
Yes.
Let's go.
That took you guys way longer than I thought it would.
I feel like we started a little slow. We didn't even ask questions for like the first few
You guys were
seconds.
just throwing out teams before I could even.
I was thinking you were going the Chandler Jones route. That's where I went Raiders from. But it's kind of the same thought process. New edge rusher that moved teams. It's kind of
we were just talking about University of Buffalo, so it just felt fitting that I would throw Khalil Mack out there.
Is
We've
he
probably
the
done
only-
him before.
Is
I
he
feel
the
like we
only player, like notable player from?
No, who was the
Buffalo?
quarterback a while ago? You know what I'm talking about? Who had a rocket arm? A couple draft classes.
Cardale Jones?
Tyree Jackson. Cardale Jones. Cardale Jones, Ohio State. Remember Tyree Jackson? Who had
He's probably in a.
arm.
He was playing tight end a few weeks ago, I think. They moved
Was
him to
he?
tight end. Yeah.
Is that what he's doing now? He's taking the what's the tight end on Washington?
Logan Thomas.
Logan Thomas route. Okay.
I haven't heard that name
he
in
is
a while.
a tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles right now.
Yeah.
Good for him. And so is JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
JJ Arcega-Whiteside's a tight end now.
Yeah, he's
as of a few days ago.
Mhm.
They're just trying to.
So that he can also not catch from that position.
Yeah, exactly. So they can also regret not taking DK Metcalf from that position. All right, guys.
Too.
Let's move on here to our final mock draft before the NFL draft. This is totally unqualified mock number 3.0. So draft order is going to go like this. Do we have assigned teams, Gage, or are we just doing draft order?
Just that order.
Okay. So it is going to go. Yeah. So it's going to go me, Gage, Steven, and then Luke. All right, you guys got that?
Sounds great.
I just threw it in a randomizer, and that's what we ended up with. So.
Sounds great.
I have the first overall. Let me just get to.
Wish I didn't have the Texans.
Why not?
Hey, Texans are a fun team.
Yeah, you are single-handedly responsible for rebuilding that franchise. Sped.
I just like when there's like a position that I know I want to go, and with the Texans, I can go anything, and I don't really like that.
Because you have options.
Yeah, it makes me get creative.
True. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me know when you're all right. We all good?
I'm good.
I think great.
Let's fucking do this thing.
Jake, you are on the clock.
I am on the clock right now. And with the first pick in the 2022 Total Unqualified Mock Draft 3.0, the Jacksonville Jaguars have a trade here with the Seattle Sea. I'm kidding. No. No, I'm going to go Aiden Hutchinson here, edge rusher, University of Michigan. This, listen, I understand the hype around Aiden Hutchinson. He absolutely deserves to be a first overall pick. Do I believe other players deserve to be a first overall pick? Of course. But with the reports that have been coming out, it seems like pretty much a done deal that Aiden Hutchinson will be going first overall at this point. So that's the route I'm going here. I'm going more, I think I'm going to approach this as a more what their GM is thinking, not what I would do. I think that's how I'm going to approach this. Mm-hmm. So Aiden Hutchinson, number 1 overall, Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's on to me then. The Michigan guy is gone. There's no longer the Michigan connection there for the Lions. So the Lions have to go another route here. I think I did this last time, and I think I'm going to do it again, honestly. I think that the Lions obviously are going to continue to add to their defense here, and I think that they're building a fairly strong secondary, and I think they're going to continue to add to that with Kyle Hamilton, 2nd overall.
Nice.
I hate that pick for them. Absolutely.
Why do you hate it? Why do you hate it, Luke?
I don't know. I feel like there's going to be an opportunity to trade up for Kyle Hamilton and maybe even like pick like 9-10 in that range, even maybe like low teens.
You think Kyle Hamilton's falling?
I think 100%. Over what's transpired the past couple weeks, I still think he's the best safety by far, but I think positional value plays a big factor into that. And you're starting to see a lot of these like tackles rise up draft boards, a lot of wide receivers as well. Talks about Jameson Williams possibly going top 10. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad pick, but I think it's a little reach.
I think for the positions where players are rising up the draft boards, the Lions aren't hurting as much. Maybe receiver, but I just don't see them going receiver 2nd overall.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's almost like a fortunate position that the Lions are in right now, where you can just kind of sit back and be like, whatever player is best available at that position is going to be a player we need anyway. Like when your team is so terrible that literally any position you could possibly get is helpful to you, that's actually not a terrible place to be in, if you look at it with a positive spin.
All right. Going with the 3rd overall pick. I'm not going to do too much thinking here. We're going to go Kayvon Thibodeau.
Nice. Love it.
My 2nd ranked player in this draft, and I think that he offers so much as an edge rusher, especially the ceiling being so high. Everybody's been having him fall potentially even to 10 or so. But he has the potential to be a top 3 player in this class. And I think the Texans just need to bank on potential, honestly.
I like it. I don't like how he's been falling lately. But I think that'd be a great pick for them. And I think he's great positional value for them.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be the most dominant player in this draft class. Just his athleticism, his size. I think he's got it all.
I just feel like this is going to be a JJ Watt situation where we're going to look back and be like, how the fuck did this guy fall to that position? Like what? Like this guy has the potential to be the best edge rusher in football. Like he is that freak. He is that freakily. Is freakily a word? I'm making freakish. It work. He is that freakish. Thank you, Steven. I'm the senior in college. This guy's not even college in yet. Correcting me. He's that freakish of an athlete. That's just how good this guy is. I understand there's some concerns, but I have no worries about Kayvon Thibodeau. But if he were to fall to number 9, would not be too mad about that. Would not be too mad about that.
He might.
He might.
He might.
And he definitely does not make past Seahawks. Like, the Seahawks are stupid when it comes to draft. They aren't that stupid. So hopefully.
I think Dwayne Eskridge would say otherwise.
I'm hearing Trevor Penning at 9 from some reporters. I'm freaking out right now.
Really?
So I can just only hope.
I would be.
I could just only hope. Just only hope.
I was so close to choosing Evan Neal, though. I was like so close to it. And last second I changed it.
Yeah. No, I love Kayvon. You can't hate on Kayvon Thibodeau, though.
Yeah.
You can't hate on him at all.
Definitely not. Somewhat friend of the podcast by association, with Alex Forsyth.
That's true. That is true.
By association of an association.
Yes.
Yeah. With the 4th pick in the 2022, that's the year. Totally unqualified draft. The New York Jets select Sauce Gardner. I've come to the conclusion that he's going to get picked before Devin's. These mic cards are hitting hard right now.
He will. I would guarantee he does get selected before Devin Singletary. Yes.
Devin
100%.
Singletary. Yes.
True.
100%.
No, Derek Stingley. I mean, he allowed like less than 20 passer rating his 3 years in college football. So he's been playing outstanding. I think scouts see him as the number 1 overall cornerback in this draft, although I do think Derek Stingley is going to be better. That's putting my stamp on that, calling it. By the way, Raptors win going to game 6 back in Toronto.
There you go.
Nice.
Keeping it alive.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Jake. It's back to you now. The New York Football Giants.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste people's time with this one. With the number 5 overall pick in the 2022 totally unqualified mock 3.0 draft, the New York Football Giants go tackle out of Alabama, Evan Neal. If they don't address the offensive line with the amount of talent that is up there in the draft, in the positions that they're going to be in, then I don't know what you do. Like, I don't. This franchise has no hope if they don't address the O-line right now. It's so deep. They're in the perfect position to strike. They have to address it. And I just want to apologize in advance to Giants fans if they don't. But in this mock draft, you guys get Evan Neal. So you can rest easy knowing that in fantasy world of totally unqualified, you guys have Evan Neal on your team. You're welcome.
In this universe.
Yeah, in this universe. in the TCU, in the TUC, in the totally unqualified, in the TUU.
All right. Moving on. Pick 6, the Carolina Panthers. We're going to go back-to-back offensive line here. And I think a lot of people are thinking the Panthers might go quarterback. I could see it happening just knowing their staff there, but I am not going to go that route. I'm going to go the route that's going to please a lot of Panthers fans, I think, with O-line. And I'm going to go with Ikem Ekwonu as their O-line help there. I think that he'd be a great pick for them. Honestly, with a lot of the mocks we've been seeing, if he was available at this point, that's him falling, according to what a lot of people think. So I think that'd be a great pick. It would help them out a lot. And I think they'll kind of just take a bridge with Sam Darnold and hope for a quarterback next year.
They could still trade up and snag a quarterback at the end of the first. I won't be surprised.
I am starting to think that they might take Malik Willis here. There is a part of me that believes that there's a very good chance. I just can't see them going into the year with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. But then again, we don't know who's going to be available in round 2 because there could be some very good guys available in round 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even the hometown boy there with Sam Howell, maybe they go try to get him in the second round. So we don't know, but a lot of teams fall in love with Malik Willis, and the Panthers seem to be one of them. So,
All right.
New York Giants pick number 7. I mean, I love nobody right now. But
great. That's what Giants fans want to hear.
Yeah.
We're gonna go George Karlaftis.
Wow.
Over
George
Karlaftis.
Yes. I mean, I've never been a Trayvon Walker believer. I think I had him originally as an interior defensive lineman because he moves all over, and he was, I think, 5th for me there. And then I moved him to edge because that's really what he is. And he's now edge, I think, 7 for me. On that Georgia defense, he never stood out compared to Devontae Wyatt, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis. I think they all should go ahead of him. But George Karlaftis, I think, adds so much, especially in that run game where they struggled last year, being bottom 10 in almost any rush stat you try to look at. And I think he vastly improves that and not only bumps Quincy Roche out of the lineup, but can also help that pass rush.
Okay.
Yeah,
It works for them.
George Karlaftis seems to be that guy where he could go either top 10 or he's not going to go until the late 20s. I feel like there's no in between for him. But he is the NFL's version of the Greek Freak. So we'll see.
Right.
See what happens.
With the Falcons on the clock at pick 8, a lot of Garrett Wilson mocks here, a lot of Jameson Williams mocks here. I think first quarterback goes off the board here. I'm going to take Malik Willis. I think with this selection, first off, I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to be there for more than 1 year. I think Marcus Mariota has shown what he can do in the league. I mean, he's won one playoff game with the Titans against the Chiefs that one time. I don't think he's ever going to be a top 10, maybe even top 15 guy. I think Malik Willis has the opportunity here to sit behind Marcus Mariota for a year and then really come into his own next season. And Malik Willis is going to need to sit a year to really hone in his craft and, just work on things because he's not a complete quarterback right now. He's definitely a project. Maybe not going to the best situation, but definitely a bright future with Malik Willis at quarterback moving on to the 2023 season. The Falcons have a bright future with him. So the guy out of Liberty going to Atlanta.
I don't hate it. I feel like he's felt like a Falcon for a little while now, at least to me. I think I've mocked him there once with us doing these or something like that. And I think that, he definitely needs to sit a year. I was actually thinking a different position for that spot because of their willingness to wait a year for a guy. I do like Jameson Williams to the Falcons because I think that they'd be willing to take a receiver that maybe he's not going to be an immediate help because they know that they're kind of rebuilding at least this season and they can come into that next season with him.
And there's a lot of wide receivers still out there on the free agent market. Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones, OBJ. There's some decent receivers that they could get before the season begins.
Yeah, and I think that taking someone like Jameson Williams would be too much of a gamble, taking another Alabama receiver.
Gamble.
Instead of Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. I actually really like that, Luke. I think that gives him a great opportunity to sit behind somebody who knows the Arthur Smith offense, can sit back there and just learn and learn from somebody who has a similar play style to him. Marcus Mariota, he's not one of those guys, very mobile, get out of the pocket, run. And he's seen it all. Marcus Mariota is such a great leader. He'll lead by example. And I think that would actually be a great fit for him. And Luke, Gage, I agree. He does feel like a Falcon. He does feel like a Falcon a little bit.
I don't know if it's just the Michael Vick connection.
It's always the Michael Vick.
You always go back to it.
It's always
even though they
has to be mobile.
Even though they had a boring pocket passer for the last 13 years.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Try to get Deshaun though.
It's true.
They tried.
Almost.
Well, actually, Deshaun tried to go there. They were not involved until Deshaun said he wants to go there. Whether it's by luck or just whether Gage wrote this up, I do have the Seahawks pick here at number 9. So guarantee you, Seahawks fans, you can rest easy knowing I will not fuck this decision up. We are going to go here with the number 9 pick in the 2022 Totally Unqualified mock draft. We are going with Charles Cross, tackle out of Mississippi State. He's one of those guys, again, I've said, you either get one of the top tackles in the draft, not Trevor Penning. Trevor Penning is not in that discussion. Or you go Sauce Gardner. Or you even go Kayvon Thibodeau if he falls that late. If it's any one of those top 5 guys that falls, I'm okay with that. Or you go with one of the top tackles. Or you go, again, even a Derek Stingley would be a guy I'd be okay with. I feel like they would go Trent McDuffie if they go with a corner other than Sauce Gardner. Just because of the Washington connection, he played at UW. Obviously in Seattle, they love going with Washington guys. Absolutely love it. And I just feel like that's something they would definitely do over Derek Stingley, whether I agree with that or not. But they need to get a tackle here. I've been hearing a lot of things that worry me about this Seahawks draft, and I cannot wait for Thursday to get here enough, or maybe I don't want to hear to get, or maybe I don't want it to get here at all. But we're gonna see, and I hope they go the direction that I just did, and just don't overthink it. Just go with the talented tackle in the position you've needed since you won the Super Bowl. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Assuming that the Jets are still holding the number 10 pick come Thursday, so things could happen. We'll see. I think that, it's definitely a thought that they could go receiver. They've been trying to trade for receivers throughout the offseason and stuff like that. I'm going to not go receiver, surprisingly enough. And with Derek Stingley still on the board at this point, I'm going to go ahead and mock him to the Jets here.
And Sauce Gardner?
Oh, you
Sauce
already
Gardner's
took
off the
Sauce
board.
Gardner. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
No,
I'm not going to take Derek Stingley.
No.
Hold up. That could be an insane corner
that would be
duo
gross,
right there.
But I don't think
That could be the new Revis Cromartie right there.
I am going to go receiver. Just kidding. Just a joke. And I think they'll go Garrett Wilson. I think that they want a guy that's going to be immediate impact, and I don't think J-Mo is going to be that. So Garrett Wilson will be the first receiver off the board.
Garrett Wilson kind of feels like Corey Davis in a way. I feel like they kind of play similar.
Yeah.
But Corey Davis,
April Fool's joke.
Corey Davis is not all that though.
I don't know. I feel like Drake London feels like a New York Jet. I don't know why. Get that? I can just see London on the back of a New York Jets jersey. I see it. So that's just to put that out there, just to float that around in the minds. Yeah.
All right. Number 11, we're going Kyle Hamilton.
Took Kyle Hamilton to the Lions.
Oh my God. Are we not paying attention, people? Are we just
we gotta write these down. What
website?
Are you guys
Where are we right now?
What are we doing?
I got it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Washington. We're going Jameson Williams.
There we go.
Yeah, so I think Diamond Brown's their slot receiver right now. Curtis Samuel is their number 2. Curtis Samuel missed like all of last season.
Mm-hmm.
And you just need another receiver in that room.
Okay.
Or safety.
Okay. Give Carson Wentz another weapon for him to not throw to and to miss.
Yeah. I like that.
I have the Minnesota Vikings on the board. I'm pretty set on Vikings going the best edge rusher available. I know that they just got Zadarius Smith and they're pairing him with Danielle Hunter, but you got to remember it's a Mike Pettin-led defense. And Mike Pettin loves playing Zadarius Smith all around the defensive line, whether it's D tackle, nose tackle, edge, put him in a zone, whatever. He needs 3 pass rushers. That's what his bread and butter is. So with Trayvon Walker this far at 12, I think I have to take him. Although I do really like Jermaine Johnson at this spot. I think Trayvon Walker actually probably goes a little bit earlier in the real draft, but this is the totally unqualified draft. So Trayvon Walker to the Minnesota Vikings at 12. I think that's a steal for them.
Yeah, I don't hate it. He's definitely going to go up there. Whether, like Sped said, whether he deserves to or not, he's definitely going to go in the upper half of this draft. I don't think that's a discussion. And I don't hate that. I don't hate that draft position there. I don't hate that. I think that's more fair.
I think 12 feels right for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, with the Houston Texans here, with the 13th pick that they traded for in that Deshaun Watson trade with Cleveland. Again, this is so funny because PFF just has them marked down as every position is a position of need for them. So I think, just go best player available in this position. And I think Derek Stingley is the best player available at number 13.
Yeah.
I think he immediately upgrades their secondary, which has kind of been a worry for them for a couple of years now. And they get younger at that position, and I think they need that. And I think he's their new cornerback 1 for years to come. I think he's great in that position.
Derek Stingley feels like a Texan to me,
Yeah.
Similar to how Drake London feels like a Jet to you.
Yeah.
I love that pick. I would bet money that actually happens in real life. We actually see that on draft night.
Do it.
Yeah.
Bet money on it.
Lose money. Bet money and lose money on it.
Yeah.
The Texans have not taken a first-round corner since. Does anybody remember who was their last first-round corner?
The Texans.
Vernon. Oh wait, no, he was the Bucks. Yeah.
Bucks.
I don't know.
Kelvin. No, that was Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Was Kareem Jackson
no, not Kareem Jackson.
He's a safety.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it Kelvin Joseph?
It was now Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson, that's what I was thinking
of. Wake Forest, 2015.
Okay.
It has been a minute. All right. At number 14, I have got the Baltimore Ravens pick. And I think that it's damn near a lock that they're going to go D-line here one way or another. And I'm torn between two guys here. But I've been seeing this guy move up more and more as of lately. So I think I'm going to go with what I think will happen here. And I think that they go Jermaine Johnson at this pick. Go ahead and add to the edge, get some more defense on that line, and ramp it up.
Oh, I thought you were going interior D-line.
I was thinking about it.
That's you were like, it's a lock. I was like, oh, shit. I thought you were going to say Devontae Wyatt for a sec over Jordan Davis.
I hate this pick, but no, not because you picked it, but just because Jermaine Johnson, I just never trust these late flyers up boards that happen on draft nights. Mm-hmm. They have a pretty hit or miss record of these guys that just fly up the boards, in weeks coming up to the draft. Doesn't always work out well for these guys. And I feel like Jermaine Johnson, I feel it could be a solid player, but like when I think about I don't know. I could be totally wrong though. Like he's 6'5", 250. Baltimore's known for just getting these massive human beings, and he definitely fits that.
He'll have a lot of help too on that team. Because they're not bad off. You've got Calais Campbell, Odafe has been really good for them thus far. So there's some pieces there. Yeah, there's pieces there that could help him, and he could kind of come into his own, hopefully, if they take him.
Personally, I like Trent McDuffie there because they still need a slot corner and they don't have one.
Yeah.
And he also has safety versatility. If you want to take someone like Chuck Clark out for a play or whatever, you can put Trent McDuffie back there or something like that. Marcus Williams too, take him out. Okay. Philly at 15. We're gonna go Trent McDuffie.
Good pick.
Just like Baltimore, they need a corner, and then he also has safety versatility. He deserves to go in the mid first round just because of versatility, and that's what's going to make you go so much earlier is being able to do so much for a team. Also consider taking a linebacker because they just haven't had a dominant linebacker since Jordan Hicks. But yeah, we're gonna go Trent McDuffie.
Yeah. And they need, I know they have Darius Slay. Who else do they have? They have Avonte Maddox. That's it. That's all that I can name off the top of my head. Okay. I have the worst team in the NFL up at 16. The New Orleans Saints, who got this pick from the Indianapolis Colts.
We got it from the Eagles, who got it from the Colts.
Yeah, so it's just,
Yeah. It's bouncing all over.
Yeah, bouncing around.
Who's that punter?
Yeah.
Trevor Ariza.
Yeah.
I don't think they go quarterback here. I think, See, the thing is,
do it to me.
I think like Drake London is slipping. I think Drake London is slipping. So I want to lean him, but I feel like Chris Olave would fit better in that offense. But also, I want the Packers to draft Chris Olave. So I'm going to go with Drake London here for the New Orleans Saints. Go up and get it sort of guy who has great potential. Who's going to make a lot of plays when Listen, when Jameis is overthrowing receivers by like 5 feet in the air, Drake London is the type of guy you want to go up and catch that ball. I think.
If only there was a guy on the team already.
Yeah.
Go up and get it.
No. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've
I
seen
don't.
him play.
I
forgot his name.
I forgot to say it.
Marquez Calloway. That's it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
he made
yes.
that. He had that one touchdown catch in the preseason.
He did in the preseason where he looked insane. Absolutely.
He was. Oh man.
I just love the fact that if the Saints actually do end up picking Drake London, which Gage, I hope you know is a possibility. You're just watching you. I would be so excited to watch you talk yourself into him. Because that would
not
definitely
happen.
it would happen.
No, it
would
happen.
Wouldn't.
I can guarantee. I will not be sold on him until he like does something on the field. I'm going to be pissed about it until the season. If I don't think Drake London.
I think Drake London's going to be pretty good.
I think he's going to be fine. I think you're overreacting a little bit.
I mean, you look at Tampa. You got Mike Evans, who was former Jameis teammate and is kind of the same player. Had 6,000 receiving yards and 36 touchdowns with Jameis.
That was like 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah,
like not bad.
Yeah,
not bad. I mean, look at like historically. Look at the guys that you got. Vincent Jackson was one of those guys that just Brandon Marshall was kind of one of those guys. He had a little more speed though. Like the go up and get a receiver that isn't exactly a speedster. It's not a terrible thing. Yeah, it's not a dirty word to get like a wide receiver that isn't the fastest.
He led the country in contested catches.
He did. There you go.
Awesome.
And he's probably gonna have a lot of those with Jameis. Probably gonna be a good amount of contested catches.
I would rather have a guy that can separate.
Listen, he's not going to need to separate when he's going up against number 3 quarterbacks because they're going to be doubling Michael Thomas.
Chris Olave can't separate, remember? He has no separation skills.
Oh, God. Now we're firing low-key shots.
Strays.
Anyway, Jake, it is your pick.
Yes.
Chargers.
All right. The Los Angeles Chargers are on the clock here. I don't know why it says they need wide receiver. I feel like that's the last thing they need after Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. But yeah, I am going to go with somebody I think the Chargers desperately need, and that's going to be Jordan Davis. They have needed a big body on the inside forever in that run game. I think that is if they get Jordan Davis, I think this team is a Super Bowl contender. Like right off the bat. Like they have so much talent on that team. And the one thing that has been killing them all of these years is they cannot stop the run for the life of them. They have been one of the worst teams in the league at stopping the run for years and years now because they just do not get bodies on the inside. They thought they were getting that Jerry Tillery. Meanwhile, everybody and their mother knew that was not happening when they selected Jerry Tillery. So I think Jordan Davis, he is as big can get. This guy is enormous.
Oh, yeah.
And they're looking for him to be that. Who's that? Who am I thinking of? Vita Vea. They're looking for him to be that Vita Vea, to be that, Danny Shelton. That was good for a couple of years though. That's a throwback name right there. Danny Shelton.
That's a name I haven't thought about.
Danny Shelton had some good years. He had some good years.
He's not still on the Giants, is he?
I thought he was still on the Patriots.
I lost track after he went to the Patriots. But they're looking for him to be that big D tackle that can, get in there, take over some bodies, and that's exactly what Jordan Davis is going to do. So I'm going to Jordan Davis to the Chargers.
I like it. I don't think a whole lot needs to be said. I mean, we've talked about this pick before. I think we all pretty much love him at that spot.
Yeah.
All right. At number 18, I've got the Eagles' second pick, the one that they received from us in that trade. And ElSpedd did not go receiver. So I'm like kind of wanting to address that, but they also are in dire need of a linebacker.
They also have 3 picks. So
they only have 2 now in the first.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
They traded one to us. Kazir White, I feel like was a good addition for them. I think that he's going to help out. But
I would go. I mean, receivers deep. Receivers deep in this class.
I think I'm going receiver here. And being that we took Drake London, I think that Chris Olave ends up being a Philadelphia Eagle here at 18.
Damn. Lame. Tomato.
Say that. Come on, say it with some pride, Gage. Yes, Chris Olave. Philadelphia Eagle, not New Orleans.
Give
Saint.
him Devontae Wyatt. Give them Devontae Wyatt, Steven.
Okay. So
Yes.
Devontae Wyatt, I would love that pick. I would.
Telling you.
But I'm gonna go with who I mocked them in my most recent mock, and that's gonna be Devin Lloyd. Demario Davis, what is he? 38, 40? I mean,
50.
He's
the guy is old. And not only that, you need someone to take over. I don't really know how good Zach Bond has been.
solid.
Yeah, can you repeat that? You just cut off.
I don't really know how good Zach Bond has been.
He's been. I think if a guy were to step up into that role, it'd probably be Pete Werner over Zach Bond. But Zach Bond's been all right.
But either way, Devin Lloyd is better than all of them, and he's going to take over for the 40-year-old who I can't think of anymore. Demario Davis. And you can really put Devin Lloyd anywhere. I do have questions about his effort at times. I mean, it just looks like he's running like, a 5-second 40 half the time. But
Demario Davis is 33 years old. Why?
He feels a lot older. He feels a lot older.
60.
That's not like old. He's still got plenty left, I think. Yeah. He's not slowing down or anything, but I mean, at the linebacker position, that is up there.
Ish. Not really.
Ish.
Though. Yeah, that's still prime. He's not like a speed guy.
How many older linebackers can you name than Demario Davis? 34 or older.
I mean, Ray Lewis played until he was like 40.
I'm talking currently.
Oh, currently?
How old is Bobby Wagner?
I think he's
Bobby
like 32.
Wagner's like 31, 32.
Yeah. So that's, you don't really get
Thomas
guys.
Davis played for a while. He's like 40.
He's gone too.
Yeah.
Nobody right now that I can name.
I can't name anybody right now.
And if you have the oldest player at the position, you kind of need to look to replace him eventually.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
Okay. So I have the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and I don't know if it's just me. It's probably just me. I don't know how comfortable they would be picking a quarterback in the first round after what happened to Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace. Maybe it's just me. I don't feel like they would take a quarterback here. I think they're going to roll with Mitch in year one. So I'm going to go with Tyler Linderbaum, center out of Iowa. They need to replace Marquise Pouncey. Mason Cole is slotted as their starter right now in their depth chart. And I think Tyler Linderbaum is an upgrade. We had him falling in some of our previous mock drafts, but I think he would be a good fit in Pittsburgh. And listen, it doesn't really matter who they have at quarterback this upcoming season because Najee Harris is going to be their primary offense. And you have to get him an offensive line to run behind. You have to get him one. So I think that starts with Tyler Linderbaum, and you get back to Steelers football of having some great O-line play and some great play in the trenches. So, yeah. I
like it. I think I'd rather see them go O-line over a quarterback anyway. I think you're getting more bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked to see them go tackle here, aside from center. But I mean, any offensive line help they can get at this position, and Tyler Linderbaum is hands down the best center in this draft, and it's not even close. So I'm fine with that. All right, moving on to the New England Patriots. Oh, Sped, I am going to fuck you guys up right here. Let's go.
You can honestly go with almost anybody that's left, and I will be happy. Anybody but Sky Moore. Anybody but Sky Moore.
Oh, you
and with the 21st pick.
Yeah, and the 21st. Yeah, no. No. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they went like a Jabba or something here, but no. I'm gonna try and get into Belichick's head here, and I'm gonna throw a little curveball out there. I'm gonna throw a little slider action, a little backdoor. Let's go Andrew Booth here. And honestly, JC Jackson, is he gonna come back? Is he gonna leave? Did he sign a new contract? No.
Chargers.
He's on the Chargers. Oh shit. Jesus, Jake. Okay, no. Yeah, so they lost JC Jackson. I knew he was gone in some way, whether this was his last year or he was already traded. But yeah, they lost JC Jackson. They lost Stephon Gilmore. I know Belichick cranks out corners who you've never heard of and makes them good, but at the same time, they do need talent at that position. I think it is a bigger need than people are thinking it is, because they just trust Belichick so much to find somebody. And I think Andrew Booth would be a good slot in here for their number one corner. He's kind of an under the radar guy, kind of being overshadowed by, McDuffie, Stingley, and Gardner here. But this guy definitely has some of the best feet in the draft. Is really good, really solid mechanically. And I think Belichick would be able to turn him into a stud. So I'm going Andrew Booth here.
Well, I lied. I would have loved, Kaiir Elam, my CB3.
Okay.
Or Dax Hill. I love Dax Hill. Everyone knows that. But yeah, I think Kaiir Elam is such a good corner compared to Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth's not bad, but it's like when you see somebody who had their best game in their probably college football career against Alabama, that's a good sign. And someone like Kaiir Elam, who that was, I mean, the hardest thing for a corner is when a play breaks down and the receiver is doing whatever it takes just to get open and coming back to the quarterback to get the ball. And about 2 or 3 plays that happened in that Florida versus Bama game, and Kaiir Elam had 3 passes defended on that alone. He kept up with the receiver when the play broke down, and that is insane. And that's why I would love Kaiir Elam. But I mean, Andrew
I will
Booth.
say that Johnny Manziel had the best game of his career against Alabama, and we saw how that turned out. So it's not everything.
Right.
It's not everything to play your best game of your career.
Pulling straws here.
7 years ago.
Were they still Bama? Yes.
Anyway, moving on here, we have got the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, forget what I said about your team earlier, Gage.
Oh,
I didn't
what
mean that. I didn't mean that. I mean well.
They haven't selected a receiver in the first round since 2002 or something.
I think we're just going back years. It's like 1987 now. It's every draft is just, it loses a few more.
But
years.
I think that at this point they can't keep getting away with this. At some point they got to do it. They got to take a receiver in the first round. And a guy that I absolutely love, who I've said multiple times is my wide receiver one, Treylon Burks, is going to be in the green and gold come Thursday.
That's like, we literally just did the same thing to each other.
That's not who you want.
Treylon Burks is not who I want.
That's who you get.
I've come to the conclusion that if the Packers don't trade up, which I don't really expect them to get Jameson Williams, I think it's going to end up being George Pickens, but I don't think they're going to get him in the first. I think that it's a situation where they trade up in the second to get him, because I think George Pickens falls out of the first. Meh. Meh. It's all right. I'll take it.
Gave you something you needed at least.
How about this?
No.
Let's trade Treylon Burks for Drake London.
I mean, I would take it, but no.
I think we should do that.
The damage is already done.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, if you want George Pickens, you're going to have to trade up into the early second round.
That's what I think. And I think they have the picks to do so, whether it's both their second round picks this year or whatever. I think, I mean, I'm looking at Chicago at 39, who's been told that it's been said that they love George Pickens at 39. I think George Pickens is gonna end up a Packer, and he's like not my favorite receiver, but he's kind of just the one that I have my mind on.
All right, Sped.
No love for Jahan Dotson. No love for
it
Jahan
is you,
Dotson.
Arizona, pick 23.
Okay, Arizona, pick 23. My mock that I did a few days ago had them going Chris Olave. That's no longer an option.
Give them a quarterback. They're gonna need one.
Yeah, they're gonna need one. We're gonna go Nakobe Dean.
Love it.
Nakobe Dean. They lost Jordan Hicks, and they got the bozo from last year's draft, who Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. who I haven't heard anything of. I think he was arrested already, but I'm not sure about that one. So yeah, just getting to Kobe Dean, my linebacker 1 this year, athletic beast. The only knock on him is his height, his frame. But yeah, I like that pick.
3 straight years of going linebackers for the Cardinals. Okay, I like it.
Who did he get before Zaven?
Isaiah Simmons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Isaiah Simmons is a stud though.
He's been solid.
Yeah. I have the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I feel like Dallas is in a situation where they could probably go best player available. And you know what? I feel like they're kind of doing that with this pick. I'm going to give them Devontae Wyatt. They need to beef up that D-line. Who do they even have? Is it like Tristan Hill and DeMarcus Lawrence? That's pretty much all I know.
Yeah, Micah Parsons, if you split him out there.
Yeah, Michael Parsons cannot play all 11 positions on the defense, believe it or not.
He probably could. He
did
runs
play a
four.
snap
If there is
at O-line
anybody that
last
can do
year,
it, it's
so,
probably Micah Parsons. Yeah, he did have a snap at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devontae Wyatt. I like that pick for Dallas as much as I hate to say it.
I don't hate it. I think
I like him more in gold and black and gold. Personally.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Next
He
time.
picks Drake London.
Next time.
I think this is a good spot for Devontae Wyatt. I like that. I do like that.
Yeah, I mean, besides Neville Gallimore and Tristan Hill, they have nobody. So
Yeah.
Oh, Gallimore. I forgot about him.
All right, Jake.
All right. All righty. Yeah. So this is a fun spot for the Buffalo Bills because it's saying they need receiver. Do they though? Like Gabe Davis showed some really strong stuff in that play, the 4 touchdown game against the Chiefs. Like that's what he can do when they get Stephon Diggs.
I guess
Like-
just because they lost Emmanuel Sanders still on the Bills.
He's a free agent, right? It was just a
Yeah.
1-year deal.
And Cole Beasley.
Beasley's gone.
Beasley's gone.
Cole Beasley
Is
got cut.
gone. So yeah, I feel like they could get a receiver in the later rounds. I don't think they need to spring for one in the first round here.
Yeah.
So they got some options here. They
I think
do.
this is a trade back spot for the Bills.
This is
personally.
definitely a
Could
trade
be.
back spot for them because I don't see anything that they like really need.
Oh, they got Jameson Crowder in the slot. They're fine.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with hold on 1 second. Let's bring them up here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Breece Hall out of Iowa State. They need running back. They've always needed running back since LaShawn McCoy retired. Not since he retired, since he got cut.
Yeah.
It's been a position of need for a while. I think they're in a position where they can spoil themselves with a running back. Running back is like the last piece of the puzzle when you're building an offense that you only get when you're in position. You don't need anything else. And the Bills are in a position where they literally do not need anything else. And running back, I think, would take some of the pressure off Josh Allen, maybe save him a few good hits, and kind of just, relieve some of the pressure off him. So I think Breece Hall, who is a stud, super talented, I think they would love him in Buffalo, and I think is exactly what Buffalo needs. I don't think they should get him in the first round, though. I think he's definitely a guy that you could take the risk on, trade down a couple picks and get him there. But in this position, since we are not doing any trades in this mock draft, going Breece Hall 25.
Yeah, that fits them.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some players in the NFL that you're just every single year, you're just waiting for them to develop and waiting for them to become the player that you thought they were going to be. And I feel like Devin Singletary and Zach Moss both fit in that category. So Breece Hall there is a pretty good pick.
I was so high on Devin Singletary too, even in like fantasy, because you saw in that first season he's splitting carries with Frank Gore, and you're like, this guy's putting up, he put up 800 yards as like the RB2 on.
Yeah, but that's
snaps.
just because Frank Gore is 96 years old.
Well, I'm saying like you saw the potential there, and then it just never turned into anything. So, but I like the pick. Next up, we've got the Tennessee Titans at pick 26.
Let me telepath a pick to you right here, Gage. Did you get it?
I don't know. Maybe.
Did you get it?
I might have gotten it. I'm going O-line. because
get it.
Didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
Sorry.
Luke,
Sorry
I
about
know.
that.
I know. I
didn't
think
pick
you
up
sent
on
it
that.
to me. Actually, I knew. I
I
found
got lost
out
in
who you think
Who did
translation.
you
was.
get?
Got our
Who
wires
did you
crossed.
get?
No, don't worry about it. Let's
Okay.
see. Let's see what you picked.
I'm going O-line here because they're very much lacking in that department. They were the second. I think Ryan Tannehill was the second most sacked quarterback in the league, only behind like Joe Burrow or something like that. He was getting torn apart all season, and they were very much injured. They moved on from a lot of guys. They're pulling the Chiefs method, it looks like, where they're just going to completely rebuild the O-line, maybe through the draft or whatever. I'm going to go Bernard Ryman here.
Yes. Good pick, Gage. Good pick.
Right.
Good pick. I thought you were
know
gonna go
you-
someone else.
Is that who you were trying to send to me, or was that
No.
still okay?
No, I was
All right.
trying to send you a quarterback out of Pittsburgh.
Oh,
But the thing
For
that
Tennessee?
worries me, yeah. I mean,
maybe.
All right.
Tannehill isn't gonna last forever.
I know,
And-
but like, all right. I think
I feel like that's a good spot for
give
picking.
him a year.
It is kind of wild. We've only taken one quarterback so far.
Yeah, and I think that's very well how this draft can end up, though.
Maybe.
I think Kenny Pickett sneaks into this. I
can
think
go
he
a lot
does.
of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe speaking of quarterbacks, maybe one gets taken with the next pick.
Pick
And
27.
and I
Mr.
throw that-
Steven.
And I throw that to you, ElSpedd.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing.
Strong.
Tampa needs a quarterback.
They need a quarterback, but I'm also looking at their secondary too. I
It's not
mean,
bad, Carlton.
it's not
Davis.
bad, but they have a bunch of random just role players there. Like Logan Ryan, Keanu Neal, Mike Edwards are all their safeties besides Antoine Winfield. Yeah, besides him.
They had some big injury issues in their secondary last
They
season
did.
as well.
But you know what? We're doing it. We're doing somebody who I watched not too long ago and I really like as a player. We're going Tyler Smith, tackle out of Tulsa. He's going to move over to guard, most likely. Everything I've seen has him going to switch to guard. And from my observations, they have Aaron Stinney at guard because they lost Alex Kappa.
Mhm.
And I don't know who Mr. Stinney is, but he's not Stinniking in this lineup.
Oh,
I tried.
yes, love it.
A for effort. I don't hate it. I think that obviously it's a position of need. They need to add some depth there. I honestly, knowing you, I thought you were going to go Daxton Hill.
I that's why I was talking secondary. I mean, I really
Yeah.
wanted to. I just want Jackson Hill to go high. That's all.
I honestly don't think there's a scenario where the Bucks don't come out of the first round without a quarterback. I like unless they really have it under good knowledge that like they can get the quarterback they want in the second round. I think they are fully addressing. I think they're done with the Tom Brady like shit of like not knowing how long. he's
Imagine
staying.
being Kyle Trask. Tough.
Kyle Trask
Such a
sucks. Like, I
bum.
don't know why he was a second round pick last year.
Trash does suck.
He's
I made a-
terrible.
I made a Carson Strong video, and I said I think
saw
he
it,
would.
and I
Yeah.
loved it. You
I said-
everything I was thinking. Yeah,
I said I think he would fit best in Tampa, and everybody in the comments said they got Kyle Trask. You'd be wasting a second round pick. I said they wasted a second round pick when they got Kyle Trask. I don't know what they were thinking, and they're like that was a second round pick. It was the last pick in the second round. It was a third round pick basically.
Yeah.
I hate Kyle Trask.
All right, Luke, take who you want.
Thank you. I actually think there's a decent chance the Packers could go safety here.
Sky Moore.
Definitely not. And go Lewis Kine. Is it Kine or it's Kine, right? Scene. Okay.
Scene.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Lewis Kine. Yeah. I think there's a small chance they go Lewis Scene just because of the uncertainty whether they bring back Darnell Savage, and Darnell Savage really hasn't developed the way that they would want him to. And also Adrian Amos's contract is coming up after the season. I think there's a chance, but I'm not going to pass up my favorite player in the draft like that. Trevor Penning is coming home to Green Bay. Trevor Penning would be really good in Tennessee. I feel like just an immediate upgrade to the O-line. First of all, fits in that run block, like run heavy scheme. And he's just a mauler in the trenches.
Are you picking for Tennessee here? Or are you
No, I'm just saying
Green
that's
Bay?
who I thought Gage was going to go with. I thought he was going with Trevor Penning when he said tackle. I was like, fuck, but it made sense. And I was like, yes, it's Bernard Raymond. Bernard Raymond's like 25 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Trevor Penning is a beast, and I think he will do great things in Green Bay. I love him. I want him so bad on the Packers. It's unbelievable. And I've never felt this way about an offensive lineman in my life. So
Got that special kind of feeling.
yes,
Wow.
I need him. I need him in my life.
All right.
I really wish you went Kenyon Green.
Nah.
Big
Yeah,
Kenyon Green guy.
He's kind of fallen, huh?
He was my highest grade offensive lineman.
I mean, there's another guard that hasn't been selected yet who you can argue is a first rounder, Zion Johnson. But
Zion Williams.
yeah. All right. Moving on to the Chiefs here. One of their first of back-to-back picks. I mean, it just seems like kind of this. I don't agree that he's a first round pick, but I feel like the Chiefs want that Tyreek Hill fill-in guy, and I'm going to go with Sky Moore. I'm going Sky Moore here.
And Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely. I
thought you were going Christian Watson.
No, I'm not going Christian
did
Watson.
that one time.
I'm going Sky Moore here. Again, I'm trying to think of how their GMs would think, and I think it would be such a Kansas City move to fall in love with Sky Moore. Just like he's shifty, like he's fast, he's speedy. I like him more as a late second rounder than I do as a first rounder, but I could definitely see Brett Veach and Andy Reid falling in love with Sky
Taking a
Moore.
little bit of a reach real quick.
And
Yeah.
See.
I mean, they reached for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, so this is not something that Kansas City is not used to doing. So,
and like underrated thing about Sky Moore is he might have the best name in the draft, and that's big. Like
Bailey Zappi.
It's a good one. It is a good one.
Yeah.
All right, he
I
might have
mean-
the best name out of good players in the draft.
Boye Mafe. That's another one. That one just flows. That one's like Boye Mafe. That's like,
A lot
I
of
feel
the
like
bad players have good names.
they do.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a great
wild.
take, Sped, actually. 100%.
Post it, clip
Yeah.
it, and ship it.
Ha Clint Dix.
If they've got an
Clint
awesome
Dix.
name,
Terrible.
don't fucking
All
take them.
time.
Carson Strong.
All
Carson
time great name.
Strong,
Ha Clint
like,
Dix.
If Carson Strong was an actually like talented quarterback, like that would be such an awesome name. And he's just wasting it on a guy that's going to have 2 ACLs before he turns 25. Like that's
Off.
yeah. Sorry for Carson Strong catching some strays there.
Right. We just picked for Kansas City, and now I am gonna pick for Kansas City. So this is another kind of like the Bills. Could be like prime trade down spot for them potentially. I could see them moving back rather than taking somebody here, but just for the sake of taking someone, Sped is going to like this one. He's been mentioned a couple times. Daxton Hill is going to be a Kansas City Chief. I think that obviously Tyrann Mathieu no longer there. They pick up Justin Reed, and he's kind of a fill-in guy. He'll be fine for them, but I think you get a young guy that's very versatile in Daxton Hill that can play safety, that you can stick him at corner if need be. And he's going to kind of fill in after you move on from Justin Reed if you do.
Okay.
All right.
No arguments. All right.
I love Daxton Hill. But anyway, moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals. I was just talking about Kenyon Green, Texas A&M. He was somebody who played every position on the offensive line last year except for center, left guard, right tackle, left tackle. His best play came at guard, and literally anybody that watched him will tell you that. And I think he replaces Jackson Carman and plays next to Jonah Williams on the left side. They got Ted Karras, former Patriot, at center, so you can't replace him. Yeah, I like Kenyon Green.
I think we had Tyler Linderbaum going here in our last mock draft, which is a little bit of a drop for him. But all right. I want to see how I could fuck up the Lions as best I can with this last pick. So let me just take a look at their depth chart. No hate, Lions, but all hate at the same time because you stole the draft from Green Bay in 2024.
I think we've gone quarterback like literally every other time.
Every time for them. It would make I could see a scenario in which Jared Goff is their quarterback of the future for the foreseeable future past this year. It'll probably definitely a restructured contract because he's not playing up to that contract. But I just think with the team that you have around him right now, I mean, you don't have high expectations for the Lions anyway.
That's the most Packers thing I've heard today, saying that Jared Goff is their quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I mean, Luke also sees a future where the Raptors are NBA champions this year. So I don't know how. I mean, much
listen,
we can trust.
They're going to be the first team in NBA history to come back 3-0. The Nets sure as hell couldn't do that. Imagine the Nets getting 0 wins in the playoffs and the Toronto Raptors having 2. That's crazy. So the Lions need some kneecap biters on this team. They don't have enough kneecap biters on the team, and I feel like that starts with inside linebacker. Mm-hmm. So you know what?
Going with the Wisconsin guy.
I am going to go with the Wisconsin guy. I'm going to go with Leo Chenal just because I need to get some Wisconsin love in this first round. Absolutely unfair that they don't have a first round pick up to this point. So Leo Chenal, big kneecap biter. I don't know if you that's on his scout report. Big kneecap biter for the Lions. Leo Chenal, pick 32. And listen, if they do need to get a quarterback, they have pick 34. That's, you could get him there.
True.
Well, all right. That's the first round. I have this set up for 3 rounds. So
all right, 6 rounds to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. All right. No. But speaking of further rounds, Sped is going to walk us through some of his favorite day 2 and 3 draft prospects that haven't been getting that much love. I hope to see some Penn Staters on that list. But yeah, he's if you guys don't know yet, ElSpedd, go follow him on TikTok. He is, of course, he's kind of become our resident draft analyst, does a lot of good draft analysis, has a bunch of good scouting videos on his TikTok. Go check those out. Of course, drop a follow, drop some likes, maybe drop some hate comments if you'd like. But also, so Sped, walk us through some of your favorite day 2 and 3 prospects that we haven't been talking about. Haven't been getting enough love.
I get a ton of hate comments as it is. But I invite more because it pushes my videos out more.
There you go.
Yeah, it's all about the engagement.
Mindset.
All about the engagement.
So I don't know how many of these guys I'm going to go over. Probably only like 5, and I'm going to go over them pretty briefly.
Okay.
But I have like 8, and I just realized I made videos on 6 of them. So
no worries, to check out the account.
First one, we're going to go with linebacker, Penn State, Brandon Smith. I love Brandon Smith. Go. And I was actually just watching, not going to think of it. There's a guy on YouTube, and I've been trying to get him on the pod for so long. And he made a ranking linebackers video, and Brandon Smith was in his 3rd tier. But he was saying how exceptional of an athlete Brandon Smith is for his size, being 6'3", and he moves so swiftly. I mean, he's just an animal in the run game, and he can cover a little bit. He's still trying to figure out how to actually play linebacker, and he's just a raw talent. I think he's going to go in the 2nd round just because of that. If you can get something, or if you can get a team that can make him into something, you're getting like an athletic beast linebacker.
What would be some good fits for him off the top of your head?
I mean, I like him where he can start right away just to get some experience. Yeah. So I like him to like maybe Detroit, where you took Leo Chenal, even in the 1st round. Yeah. I mean, just anywhere he can get playing time and just develop right away, because I think if you put him maybe as a backup, I don't know if he'll get that experience playing in game, and then maybe when it's time for him to go in game, he's not ready. So I'd like him to get as much playing time as possible.
Yeah. Brandon Smith, former 5-star guy, big prospect coming to Penn State. A lot of people knocked him because he had a lot of some missed tackles, and he wasn't always around the ball. Like he didn't. The bad thing about Brandon Smith was that he followed Micah Parsons. That was it. That was just like, that was an impossible standard to live up to. Like he had to, like, everybody's like, oh, Micah Parsons leaving, but we got this 5-star guy in here, Brandon Smith, and he's going to be the next Micah Parsons. That's just unfair. Like that is just an unfair weight to put on a guy. And he was still really good for us. It's just that some Penn State fans were pissed because he wasn't Micah Parsons, which is like fucking impossible. Like, come on. That's super unfair to do to the guy. Brand Smith, I'm glad you're showing him some love because he has all the talent in the world. And I think if he gets the right coaching, absolutely going to be a beast.
Yeah. And he's my 4th graded outside or inside linebacker. And the only reason that he's so high is just because of how much of an athletic beast he is. But yeah, moving on. I got Marcus Jones, who, I mean, he's not polished at all. He's the most raw player that I have seen in this draft. And I watched Caleb Ellaby. But I mean, this is
the strays to Caleb Ellaby is unreal. Unreal.
QB2.
I wasted so much time watching him. And then I had to watch him again with Sky Moore.
20 tape.
I had to watch Sky Moore.
Tape. Oh, jeez.
Anyway, so yeah, Marcus Jones. This is a guy who played kick returner, punt returner, safety, corner, and receiver for Houston. And obviously he's not a receiver. I was talking to somebody the other day who said that they think he's going to transition to a receiver, which honestly, that's why I had him, I think, originally mocked to Jacksonville because they have Jamal Agnew who made that same transition from corner to receiver. He is going to be a starting kick returner for whatever team he goes to. He's going to be a top 5 kick returner because he took almost every single ball back to the house. And that's his natural position, is just give him the ball.
He sounds like a Green Bay Packer. God knows they need somebody on special teams.
Who is their kick returner? It's not Randall Cobb.
It changes week to week. They don't have a set one. All of them are so bad. They just try out a new guy every single time.
The great special teams like that.
Yeah.
Next, Sam Williams, Ole Miss edge rusher. He's falling in the draft because of some off the field issues that were dropped. His charges were dropped. I don't know if I can get into that, but if you look at him versus Jermaine Johnson this season, I think Jermaine Johnson had 1 more sack and 2 less tackles for loss. So like their stats are kind of identical. Mm-hmm. And Sam Williams is the strongest edge rusher that I looked at this year. Maybe you can put him inside and just have him bull rush everybody because he doesn't really have much else to his game besides just powering people. But I mean, he's a great athlete as well.
Okay.
And I try to avoid putting like top 2, top 3 at their position because I want like more like hidden players.
Yeah, low key guys.
Yeah, but I put my number 1 player in Greg Dulcich because nobody is talking about him as tight end 1. They're talking about Jalen Weidemeyer Moore from Texas A&M, or they're talking about Trey McBride from Colorado State, Jelani Woods, and I still haven't watched Jelani. But Greg Dulcich, reminds me a lot of Hunter Henry when he plays. Not the blocker that Hunter Henry is. You can always tell who Greg Dulcich is because when he lines up next to the tackle and puts his arm on his shoulder, which I don't understand why he does that. I mean, he just always does this whenever he's lining up. I don't understand it, but that's how I could tell who he was. After the catch, I mean, he had this insane play versus LSU where he took probably a 50, 60-yard pass for a touchdown, and he ran through 2 guys while doing it. So you're just getting a guy who can make plays after the catch. He's not a great run blocker, but nobody in this class is going to give you that mix of both, like George Kittle or anything.
Yeah.
And I think he's the best mix that I've seen of both.
Yeah, very weak class for tight ends.
Very late. I did like Charlie Kohler before.
I like Charlie Kohler too.
Yeah, you did.
But he didn't offer anything in the run game. He was a slot receiver, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I have Greg Dulcich over him. And it's only by like 0.06 is how much higher I have him graded. But next is another guy. And oh my God, I love this guy. Almost as much as Breece Hall and almost as much as Dax Hill. He made my top 10 wide receivers. And that's going to be Jalen Tolbert, South Alabama wide receiver. I mean, I get it's South Alabama and it's not like these prestigious schools, but literally his film showed anything you want from a receiver. He was burning guys, catching contested catches. He was running insane routes to the point where he's wide open. And then some people will attribute to that as lower competition. Of course, he's going to be wide open. But I mean, I don't know. He did have a few drops, but they're all contested catches. And it's like, you can't just assume he's going to catch every single one. And he's not like, a DK Metcalf level size.
Did you put him above Drake London?
I did.
Yes.
I had Drake London at 9 and
if we
Jalen
ever
Tolbert
have Drake London on this podcast, like
I'd love to talk to him.
just tell him every way he sucks.
Tell him how bad he sucks.
It's not even that I think he sucks. I just think he's too much of a gamble that I'm not willing to take.
And here's the thing that I don't think people understand, because I got so much hate for my top 10 receivers rankings, and I understand it. I mean, Drake London, everybody has a 4-1, and I had him at 9. But my top 9 receivers are graded at a 6.3 or higher, which equivalents to being a plus starter in the NFL. So they're all going to be great receivers at the next level. It's not like 9th best receiver, oh, he's going to be like a backup. No, he's going to be a plus starter in the NFL.
Yeah, it's just a deep class.
Yeah.
Who's your best kicker? Best kicker in the class.
Haven't looked at kickers.
So there's a kicker out of Texas, Cameron Dicker, the kicker.
Dicker the kicker.
I
heard about Dicker the kicker, and I'm on the Dicker train.
If we have learned anything, good name, bad player.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, besides Rodrigo Blankenship. That's a pretty
phenomenal name. Phenomenal name.
Yeah, so I guess it's position based.
Yeah.
So
maybe. Yeah, so Dicker the kicker, kickers with cool names might be the move.
Yeah.
I mean, Gardner Minshew is the GOAT, and he has a great name. So
sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Kind of disproves.
I don't.
I'm gonna do some more research on this, and I'll come to some sort of.
Yeah, we need more research done on Dicker the kicker. I mean,
Michael Dixon with the Seahawks, I feel like is currently the Dicker the kicker, but
not anymore.
I know,
not anymore. I need a TikTok made on Cameron Dicker sped whenever you have the chance.
Possibly. I don't know if I have access to all 22 kicker film though. I gotta find that somewhere.
You gotta find maybe on Huddle.
Gotta make it happen.
Maybe yeah.
I will say, the greatest kicker of all time, Justin Tucker, came out of Texas. So, there's some history there. There is some history there. We can see. We might see. Maybe
all signs are pointing up for Dicker the kicker.
They were in the same place at totally different times. That means that they're both going to be great.
Basically, that means they are both phenomenal kickers.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go over. I only have 3 left. I'll go all 3 real quick. David Bell. Bell out of Purdue.
Yes, thank you.
I am unbelievably high on David Bell, and everybody watched his combine, or at least saw the numbers, because I don't know how many people actually watched the combine.
Yeah.
And they saw his 40 time. I think it was like a 4.56, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's a terrible athlete." That is a comment that I've seen before. No, he ran bad, but this is a guy who had 11 out of his last 17 games with 100+ receiving yards. And you're trying to tell me that somebody like George Pickens, who I had below him, who didn't even have a game with 60+ yards this past season, and I get he was dealing with injuries, which is another knock on him.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me somebody who's playing and puts up 11 100-yard games is worse than somebody who's put up not even 60 his last season. I mean, it's more than just numbers, and I understand that. But, I mean, this is a guy that was dominating compared to George Pickens, and I'll stand by that.
Just kind of a proof is in the pudding kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And he can do whatever you really want him to do by taking like jet sweeps, running short routes. I mean, I saw him burning some guys on some post routes, so it's not like he's limited down the field.
Yeah.
I feel like David Bell feels like a Chief.
I had him mocked to the Chiefs at one point.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I feel like I see a bunch of mocks with him. Speaking of Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is on my screen right now. Oh, at the Mavericks game. Look at that.
Wow.
Speak of the devil.
Last 2, I have Ed Ingram, guard out of LSU, and Cameron Thomas, edge rusher out of San Diego State, same college as Trevor Ariza. Ed Ingram, possibly the second best run or pass blocker in this class. He's not going to go until day 3, and I can almost promise you that. Yeah. But he might be one of the higher taken guards just because of how kind of weak it is, and he's like insanely good in pass protection. Nobody was getting through him, and everybody wants to take tackle over guard. But if you got somebody who is top 2 at one of the looked for traits, I mean, I could see him going to Tennessee and just trying to protect Ryan Tannehill more. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he really doesn't offer all that much in run blocking, but he's pretty strong, so I think he can just try to figure that out. And then Cameron Thomas, one of my most looked for things in players in general is just the effort that you give, because if you don't give effort, then you're kind of just wasting talent, if we're being honest. Because Cameron Thomas, this is a guy that goes 100% every play, and I posted something about how he chased down Carson Strong from the right side of the field all the way to the left sideline, and it was just the slow chase because he's not fast, but he'll like sprint after somebody, and he hawked down Carson Strong, and I loved it. Yeah, Cameron Thomas, he's going to give you everything he has every single snap, and that's what makes him so valuable for me.
Yeah, you'll love to see it. A guy that's going to try.
Yeah, I was going to say, is chasing down Carson Strong really impressive? But
when you come from the other side of the field, it kind of is.
That's true.
And you're like 275, 280.
Yeah.
All
right. Fair point.
I'll give it to him.
All right, that's going to be all for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And I will throw it to my amazing co-hosts for any last words that they have. Steven, since you are our guest, I'll start with Luke.
That was a good one. Yeah, make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Totally Unqualified on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and as well as our YouTube. I am Football Fan Zone. Steven is ElSpedd. Gage is Extra Points, and Jake is Jake Maltese 3. And yeah, go Raps in 7. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm feeling in my heart of hearts.
Discord. We are constantly trying to expand the server and get more people in there so that we can continue to build a bigger and bigger community, especially if you enjoy the podcast. I mean, there's no reason that you shouldn't be in there. There's a community full of other people that are either following us, listening to the podcast, whatever the case may be. It'd be a great place to talk about it or just talk ball in general. So be sure to join us at the link in any of our bios as well.
Apple Music, Spotify, rate, make sure you check out both.
Yeah.
Rate review.
Yeah. Baby. This guy knows the drill.
He knows it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. And we will see you guys on draft night.